Hello, and thank you for agreeing to take part in our study. My name is Mike, and I will be teaching you how to download and use Workrave. Workrave is a computer program that will alert you to take rest breaks and allow you to monitor your computer usage. Taking breaks from working at your computer has been suggested to decrease discomfort and fatigue while increasing productivity at work. Workrave helps accomplish this by frequently alerting users to take micropauses, rest breaks, and restricting users to their daily limit of computer activities. In this video, I will show you how to download the program for free at www.workrave.org, how to set preferences that work best for you, and how to see the data that it collects. We will also be teaching you how to use this data effectively to monitor yourself at your workstation. As stated in the consent form, downloading this program and utilizing it on your computer will have no impact on your job performance nor your job standing. Please listen carefully and follow along with this video as I teach you all the necessary information regarding Workrave. Let's get started. To download Workrave, go to www.workrave.org. Click Workrave Free Download. Now click the MS Windows Installer button. Wait for your download to start. You can skip the survey that is below. Save the file. Once this file is saved, double-click the file in your Downloads window and run the program. Allow your computer to download the program. Now you're at the startup wizard. Scroll through, clicking next and accepting the agreement. I have already read the agreement, so I'm going to accept it. For the purposes of my computer, I will save the program to my desktop. But for you, you can save it wherever you'd like to on your computer. Click Next. Click Next again. Next again. Make sure that Create a Desktop icon and Start Workrave when Windows starts are clicked, and click Next. Now install the program. Once the program is installed, a small box will appear on your desktop showing you 3 pictures and 3 different times. In the small box, the first picture is a hand which indicates how much time you have until a micropause will appear. The second picture is a cup of coffee to indicate how much time you have until a rest break. The third picture is of an arrow and a door to indicate how much time you have been on your computer. Now that you have that box on your computer, I will teach you how to go through and set your preferences step by step. In order to do this, right-click the box and select Preferences. Now that you are in the Preference window, you can see that there are 3 categories: Timers, User Interface, and Network. The most important category for our purposes is the Timer section. Let's take a closer look. When you go into the Timers category, you can see that there are 3 tabs across the top of the screen: Micro Breaks, Rest Breaks, Daily Limit. These are different breaks that Workrave will prompt you for. Micro breaks are exactly what they sound like. Workrave will prompt you to take a short rest break that lasts about 30 seconds. You can set how frequent you want the breaks to be by adjusting the time between breaks clock. For instance, 15 minutes between breaks. You can also adjust how long the breaks last with the break's duration time. For example, we're going to set it to 30-second break duration. Therefore, with our settings, every 15 minutes the program will alert you to take a 30-second break. In the small box on your desktop, the time next to the hand icon will count down the time remaining before your next micro break. The third timer, called Postpone Time, is also important. Let's say you're working on something you really don't want to take a break during. You can click Postpone when it prompts for a break, which which will postpone the break for however long you set it to. In this case, we have set the postpone of micro breaks for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Important to note that if you do not click the box that says Show Postpone and Skip button, you will not be able to skip or postpone, so you want to make sure that box is checked off. Also, under the bold break prompting options, make sure that they are both clicked and set to a maximum of 3. This will allow the program to prompt you when the timers run out. Remember, taking breaks is important, so I would set the time between breaks to every 30 seconds and every rest for every 60 minutes. Also, we recommend micro breaks take anywhere from 10 seconds to 45 seconds and not much longer, as they are supposed to be short breaks. Now that we have gone over micro breaks, let's move to rest breaks. Rest breaks are meant to be a little bit longer than micro breaks in the sense they are supposed to get you up and moving around a little bit, and they're even accompanied with guided exercises. This means that when a rest break prompt comes up and you accept it, it will bring you through a series of exercises to stretch and rest your body. The timers are essentially the same as the previous page, and you can adjust the breaks between times, break durations, and postpone times. For rest breaks, you wanted your time between breaks to be longer than micro breaks, and you also want your break duration to be a little longer. As stated earlier, we recommend that rest breaks be taken once every hour. You will also see that there is one additional option that says number of exercises. Simply set the number to as many exercises as you would like to complete during the rest break. For our purposes, we set it to 3. The Daily Limit tab is for limiting your total daily use of your computer. Think about how long you are typically at your workstation each day and set it to what you need to be. If you make it too long, then the feature is useless. If you make it too short, you won't be utilizing it in the correct way. If you typically work from 9 to 5, set the time before end timer to 8 hours. If you need to work extra, you can postpone it, which you can set for how long by adjusting the postpone time timer. Keep the other options checked, just like in the other timer categories. If you think micro breaks should be part of your daily usage, then be sure to click the Regard Micro Breaks as Activity box. If you do not wish to include micro breaks as part of your daily usage, then do not click it. For the purpose of keeping the instructional video short, I'm going to breeze through the next 2 preference categories because they are not nearly as important to the program. Network category is not usable as this is not a program being monitored by the company you are working within. The user interface category allows you to adjust some general options. Under the General tab, you can adjust the language. I suggest keeping it your native language. You want to make sure that the box for Start Workrave on Windows Startup is clicked so that it remains on the entire time. If you shut it off, then we will not be able to collect your statistics and your participation in the study will be limited. The last box is up to you. If you want the system icon tray to show, then click the box. If not, then unclick it. This will not affect anything except the icon on the bottom of your PC showing or not. Under the Sounds tab, you can adjust any of the sounds you want to hear. This is pretty self-explanatory and basically all preference. Under the Status Window tab, you can determine if you want the status window to show or not. The status window is that small box that I discussed earlier with the 3 numbers and icons on it. You can also determine if you want that box to show above all the windows you're working on or not by clicking the status window stays always on top of the other Windows box. You can determine whether you want this to show or not, but as long as the program is on, the program will prompt you to take breaks and statistics will be collected. Lastly, do not worry about the Applet tab. It has no meaning toward the specific use of Workrave in this study. Now that we have gone over the preference part of Workrave, let's take a look at how you can see what Workrave is tracking. If you right-click on the status window, you can go to Statistics to check out what you have been doing each day you are on the program. On the left side is a calendar. Click on any day you want to see your statistics. On the right, you can see that there are 2 tabs, Breaks and Activity. Since we have just downloaded the program, there are no statistics yet. However, as you continue to use your computer, you will see all the statistics that Workrave is collecting. Under the Breaks tab, it shows how many prompts and repeated prompts Workrave has made for you. You can also see how many of those led to you taking a break, how many you skipped, how many you have postponed, and how long overdue your breaks are. It also shows your daily usage for the day. Natural breaks are taken breaks that occur throughout the day when you are not using your computer for certain amounts of seconds. Let's say you get up to talk to a coworker for a minute. That would be considered a natural break. The tricky part about this is for those situations in which you are doing something like reading a document and not using your keyboard or mouse. You are still working on your computer, but it reads it as a natural break. Because of this, natural breaks will not be as important to us as prompted breaks. If you go to the Activity tab, you can see how much mouse usage, mouse movement, effective mouse movement, mouse button clicks, and keystrokes you have had each day. Keystrokes are simply how many keys you have pressed throughout the day. Mouse usage is the total time you have been moving your mouse. Mouse movement is how far you have been moving your mouse. Effective mouse movement is how far you have moved your mouse followed by clicking it. Mouse button clicks are how many times you have clicked your mouse within a day. So what does all this actually tell you? If you look at the Breaks tab once more, it can show you exactly how many breaks you have taken each day. It is important to take breaks throughout the day in order to keep your body and blood moving. This will help your eye strain, discomfort, and fatigue. You will also be able to track how much you are working during a typical day when you look at the Activities tab. You can see if you do a lot of typing in a day, or if you use your mouse a lot more. For example, one day you may notice that your keystrokes skyrocketed because you were working on a project with a close deadline. You may need to take it easy that evening in order for your muscles to recuperate. As you participate in the study, I encourage you to take the breaks Workrave prompts you to take. When doing so, be sure to notice how they are making you feel about your workday, about your physical health, and about your mental health. The researchers of this study will be asking you about these perceptions to determine if there is a change in how you approach your workday. The goal is to assess whether this tool can help you with self-monitoring and thus change your work behavior to avoid discomfort and fatigue related to sustained computer work. Thank you for watching this video and participating in our study. We look forward to hearing your feedback as the weeks go by. Hopefully it will be as helpful to you as it will to us.